I walked to Burger King, then I walked back home from Burger King.
Hey!
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Elden Ring! Last time, I always just forget whatever I did last time. Ah yes, we went down here to Summon Water Village, killed a Tibia Mariner, went into this place known as Caelid, discovered the Round Table Hole, did all sorts of cool fun progression stuff. This time, we're about to be rained on for the next, hour and a half. So before we subject ourselves to that, I went to go look up where I could find a glintstone staff, and I have heard, according to the wiki, there is a lone noble sorcerer enemy down here somewhere that drops one guaranteed if you kill him, and he's just completely alone. So let's look for him and see if that's true. Hello, are you him? Are you him? There you go! Alright, apparently this guy here always drops a glintstone staff. That is good to know. Alright, I'm gonna equip that to my left hand. I'll put my torch here, and then the first slot, we'll put this. To use a magic spell, you'll need to equip whatever magic tool you need to cast if it's a sorcery incantation. In this case, it's a sorcery, so it's a staff. Then you want to set it aside a grace, memorize the spell to put it in that top slot there. And then you use the staff, and there it goes. It's very cool. So now I get to finally start using magic, which I will start doing as we explore this here Weeping Peninsula. First things first, you all are dead. Or you both, I guess. There's not more than two. I'm guessing you killed them? Great job. It's not too easy to do that.
Hello? Is somebody there?
You killed them while blind.
For a moment, please.
That's even more impressive.
I've escaped from Castle Morne to the south. The servants there have rebelled. I can't be sure what it is. My eyesight's been weak since birth, you see. But I swear I heard frightful howling from all over. My good father secreted me out the castle, but decided himself to stay. He says it's his duty. As commander.
I'm sorry, but I think you and me both have a very different idea of what secrete means. Secrete means produce and discharge a substance. So unless you see yourself as a substance, I don't understand that word choice.
I fear for father's life. The servants are full wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul. I fear it's no different at Castle Morne. Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father? At the castle, my soul wishes that he escape, even if his honor should be the price. Please. I just want him to be safe. Thank you. Dearly. Then please, take this.
Irina's letter. What kind of paper is that?
Deliver it to my father, who remains in the castle, if you please.
If I please indeed. Alright, so we got a castle to explore down here. This place is a little bit more important than you'd think. My god, Torrent, how strong is your leg? That said, though, the Weeping Peninsula is not that big, so I hope to get through most, maybe even all of it in this video. There's going to be a couple of things that I skip over, but we should be able to do most of it in this video, if I am good enough with time. There's a bunch of dogs here, which I can hit while on Torrent. Or they can hit me while I'm on Torrent, and then damage Torrent, but not me. You know, I've never understood what causes you to take damage, but, sometimes when you get attacked on Torrent, either you both take damage, or only Torrent takes damage and you're safe. And I've never understood when that is the case, when exactly, the latter happens. Maybe it's just a certain way that the hitboxes go. Alright, so we do have a couple of soldiers of Godric out here, I believe, but we also have a new enemy. These are Misbegottens, and they've got some weird attack patterns, though they're not too hard, especially if you can get the jump on them like this. Wow, look at that. Yeah, at this point in my first playthrough, I was still using a short sword, because I was convinced that short swords would be better than the starting club as the Wretch, which was the class I went with on my first playthrough. Whether that was a good idea or not, it turned out fine in the end, especially because Elden Ring is not that difficult at the very beginning, but, yeah, the short sword just kind of sucks, especially compared to the club. Like, if you start as a wretch, you're better off just going with the club. Don't bother with the short sword. Wait until you get a long sword. That's an actually good sword that's worth using. There's a giant troll over there, but I believe this guy's very peaceful unless you walk directly up to him. So don't do that. I haven't gotten a chance to use the skill of this weapon yet, so how about we do so right now? Spinning Slash. That actually did a decent amount of damage. That was actually kind of nice. So you could probably tell this area is around the same difficulty as the rest of Limgrave. In fact, it may even be maybe slightly harder, but that's about it. And that's because you are supposed to come down here first before going to Stormvale, before going to any other region of the world. But of course, it's kind of out of the way, and there's only like one grace that points you down here, which is Agheel Lake South. If you had no idea this place existed, like there are so many people who played this game, played through the entire rest of the world, had no idea the Weeping Peninsula even existed, and didn't find it until like the end of the game where they stomped everything. Which, you know, is an interesting experience, because it is fun to feel overpowered sometimes. Unless you really, really want this game to be hard for a reason I can kind of understand. Ash of War, Mighty Shot. I remember this one. It's kind of boring. Basically, you shoot an arrow harder. you do the regular attack, but worse. I don't know. I've yet to use any of my spells. I should remedy that in the upcoming areas. We got a Site of Grace already. Apparently that little alley with the Misbegottens was enough for one. I understand, though. I did die a few times in that room on my first playthrough, so yeah, I get it. There's also guidance pointing me that way. As we all know, though, Guidance of Grace typically just points you to the major dungeon of the region, which means it's pointing us to the castle. Hey, not a bad idea. At least we can get a look at it before and decide if we want to go there straight away or not. Hello, merchant. Oh, this guy's just straight to the point. I guess I'm buying the Bastard Sword. All right. Sure, making me feel great for choosing that one. What is this? Scale armor? Is this a starting armor? Or something? I don't know. Demi-human mobs. Sure, I can get that. And then I'm kind of interested in buying this, the Crimson Amber Medallion. This is one of the keepsakes you could choose at the start of the game. Slightly increases maximum HP. Aside from that, you have a Stone Sword key. I think I'll just get Smithing Stone 2, though. And use up all my runes in the process. And you say absolutely nothing as I leave. All right, cool. Oh, you know, I should keep this on. I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. And look at that HP increase. It's like 20. That's nothing. Yeah, I think I'll just stick with Lance Talisman from now on. I will try out a bunch of other talismans as we keep going, but since we only have one talisman slot right now, it's a little bit hard to do that. I wanted to go this way because, as you can see right here, there's the familiar-looking structure. These structures always have maps at their base. So, yep, there it is. The map of the Weeping Peninsula. Now we're being shot at by a giant arrow. Best not to do that. It's actually not that hard. I'll show you in a bit. It's not that hard to get up there. It's just, you know, a little bit scary looking, so I think I'll retreat for now. And now let's, eventually, one day, some second, yep, in a bit. Seriously, dude? That'll get him off of me. There we go. Weeping Peninsula. Looking a lot like Australia. We got a surprisingly diverse selection of areas to check out. And I'm going to start right away with this thing up here. This interesting looking dollop. Looks kind of similar to an Everjail, but if I remember correctly, I don't believe it is. Spirit Spring right here, so let's use it to skip all the way up. Oh, yep, that's not an Everjail. Definitely not, or at least that's the fanciest looking Everjail we've seen so far. Alright, down we go. Since this is known as the Weeping Peninsula, it is constantly raining here. That is not just like, you know, a temporary weather effect. It always rains here. Here we have an alpha wolf kind of howling, just out in front, being cool. And then they're running to chase after that light, I guess. That's indicating another side of grace. We don't need to do that quite yet. Seek 3 wise beasts. Okay, sure. Oridus' Rise? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Okay, this doesn't say anything, but usually they'll say, you must solve the puzzle to enter. Oh, hi, you haven't appeared before. Are you the wise beast? Well, I have sought you out, and now here you are. Do I have to? Do I really, really have to? I'm sorry, please forgive me! Yes, you must kill them. It's sad, I know. There's just some ghostly turtles hanging out, but you must kill them. This one's a little bit more hidden, but he's still there. And then, where else? Where else around this rise? Got a little pond over here with an earthly flower next to it. And then, here's the tricky part. You notice there's a splash right there. That wasn't any old random glitchy splash. Those are constant and most definitely intentional, because one of the turtles is invisible and trying to hide from you after you slaughter 2 of his friends. With those 3 dead, the seal on the rise has opened. Man, if you wizards, like, just kill a bunch of turtles in your day-to-day life, maybe I don't actually want to do magic, because then I'll be mistaken for a turtle murderer. That is what these rises are supposed to be. I believe the rises of people, of like magic-oriented people. Oh look, the rain has stopped. No, it hasn't. Actually, you could see a slight bit of rain. Rises typically need you to solve a puzzle to enter them, and at the top they reward you with a picture of a tower somewhere and a memory stone. Increases memory slots, prized by the sorcerers who produce them. Said to be a fragment of the black moon that once hung above the eternal city. Yep. The name's kind of confusing. No city is ever eternal, so I have no idea who thinks they're so, like, mighty and special and awesome that their city gets to be eternal and the others don't. Memory stones will indeed increase your, the number of spells that you now have. I believe you can see on the status screen, yes, we have 3 memory slots now that we can attach a spell to. That used to be bound to leveling up the stat in the previous Dark Souls games, but now you find items out in the world that increase it instead, so it's bound to exploration. And I like that quite a bit. I don't know if leveling up Mind, which is the equivalent of that stat, does the same thing or not, if that also gives you more slots. If it did, that'd be pretty cool. Then you have this, as I like to call it, the Altar of Citrus. Definitely not at all a joke stolen from John Wolfe. They have starlight shards placed at the base of them. What are starlight shards? Well, you use them to gradually recover FP, if you need it. A prized item that was once used in the Eternal City as an ingredient in intoxicating draughts? Alright, I don't know. Drafts? Visit the Altar of Citrus and you can find a starlight shard. And then you can use it, if you want. Got more glowy skulls here. I think I'm gonna head down the hill. There is a grace here after all, and a little interesting spot. Because, yes, there's a bunch of craters. Again, kind of looks like something out of Nanosaur 2, and I know, like, all of you watching have no idea what the heck Nanosaur 2 is. It's a pretty interesting game. I definitely recommend checking it out, maybe. These guys know some kind of magic known as gravity magic, and you know what we do to magic users? Fight back with our own magic! Let's actually use magic for once! Oh, look at that! That's a lot of damage compared to, like, Soul Arrow from Dark Souls. We got a deer that's very interested and is joining in on the fun. Gonna take you out from afar. Do remember that your FP is limited, and you are using it up for every magic cast, so watch that FP bar. Then we have one of you, an Alabaster Lord, or whatever you are. I'm gonna do jump attacks. Nope. Nope. And nope. Oh my god. They like to go on long strings of attacks like that, so if you ever see them do that, watch out. They might not be done with their attacks, even if they seem like it. Nope. I kind of want to use my skill. Spinning slash, see how well it does. That didn't really do anything. Spinning slash is kind of one of the less interesting skills to me. Jump out of that crater. I definitely didn't want to be stuck down there. I remember trying to fight this guy and not at all being good at it. What are you doing, sir? Oh, that's an interesting little attack there. These smaller enemies around this place are kind of rare, if I remember correctly, so I'm not quite used to their attacks. They were able to, like, grab a huge chunk of rock out of the ground with their weapons and then throw it at us. Pretty interesting. That's basically what gravity magic is. They manipulate the earth underneath them and all that. Oh, what is that doing? Okay, that's becoming a rock that's about to be chucked at my face. Yep. Kind of cool. I like it. All right, I'm out of FP. So I'll finish you off melee. I keep thinking you can pick these up, but you can't. They're just glowy pieces of rock, I guess, where these meteors fell. But you can't even mind that's not meteorite ore or anything. There's no cool laser cannons you can get out of them. Nah, just nothing. Kinda disappointing. What is north of the rise? Bats. Wait, is it nighttime? It is. It's nighttime. It does not look like it's nighttime. I disagree. Now, of course, these bats could be a day and night spawn, but still, the background music changed to the nighttime version of Limgrave, which is how I was able to ow. It's how I was able to you know. Hi, chair that just appeared out of thin air. This bird was loaded in for far longer than you were, so I guess you were nowhere near as important as that bird. What do you have? Stone sword key. All right, that's all. That's basically all we came to see out here. Wait a minute, never mind. There's a bird perched on top of this thing. And if you don't remember what these things are, because I think this is the second one we've ever seen, guide and gatekeeper for those returning to the roots. They direct you to a catacomb. Specifically a catacomb, no caves or mining tunnels. So we're gonna find our way down there. That was a glowy skull I didn't get. It's okay, we can miss out on the occasional glowy skulls, because I only have like 33 golden rune ones. And the golden rune ones are actually kind of good in this game. They're not like the Dark Souls games where it's like 50 souls or runes in this game's case. Got a graveyard with some more spirit jellyfish. May any of you be the friends of my little spirit jellyfish ashes that I'm carrying around? Ow! It's okay, I'll just take the great dragonfly head, I'll miss you, and then I'll open up this catacomb, but I'm not going to do this one quite yet, because I remember this one. This one's annoying. I'm gonna save it for later. But I will light the Site of Grace so that we can come back here later. I'm planning on doing a big old, like, clear up every last thing we haven't done in Limgrave episode before we take on Stormvale. Which may or may not be the next video, depending on how this one goes. Hold on, I gotta step out of the freaking catacombs to go anywhere. Okay, so that's everything up here. I don't think this ledge has anything special, so where to next? Oh, I think I know. We're gonna have to teleport back here. Oh. I forgot about you. I guess no time like the present to fight one of these. So this is a boss enemy that only shows up at nighttime. It is known as the Knight's Cavalry, which you are about to see when we get into battle. That horse looks a little strange, a little interesting. If you remember the golden guy on the horse, just outside of the first step where we started the game, this guy's basically like a nighttime version of them, except unlike that one, you can actually kill this one's horse, but it also murders you. I don't know, I'm calling it an it because it's just some weird shadowy guy on a horse. The Knight's Cavalry are currently, as they are implemented in the game, just like they appear in certain spots of the map at nighttime, but they were intended to have a little bit more going for them than that. Back in Dark Souls 1, there were these, like, big, strong Black Knight enemies placed throughout the first two areas of the game, which you could fight as an optional challenge. But they weren't really intended to be used as they ended up being. I'm gonna die, so, I'll try my best, and then, we'll see how this goes. Rather than just being one-off optional encounters you could go to fight if you want, they were intended to pursue you throughout that area, and you were intended to kind of, like, avoid them in that way. It didn't end up coming out, probably because they thought it wouldn't be that great design, or they just didn't have enough time to fully implement the feature, but the Knight's Cavalry were also supposed to be kind of a version of that. Credit goes to Zully the Witch for supposedly data mining up some code that seems to indicate that. And they went over that in their video of theirs. Oh, wow, that's... their video of theirs, listen to me. I have no idea how that last attack missed, but I do have an idea of how that attack hit. It hit because, you know, he smacked me in the face with a mace. I think I almost had the horse killed. I think we could have done that. Because when the horse is killed, the main guy kind of falls shortly after, though he can summon it again if you don't kill him quick enough. I'm gonna pass the time to nightfall. I might even try that again. I don't know. I might not. I might come back to him later. Either way, he's there again. What's your horse doing? I think it would have been really interesting to have the Knight's Cavalry as that kind of pursuer playstyle that they wanted to do with Dark Souls 1, because it would allow them to, like, bring back an idea that they had, rather than just, you know, basically making them the same as all other enemies. You fight them in one particular spot of the world, and that's it. And only this time it has to be nighttime for them to spawn in. I don't know, I think it would have been really interesting. They're still pretty cool, but not my favorite things. Yeah, I hate that, man. It's like I get a jump attack, and then I just can't do anything about the oncoming attack that he's doing, because he's about to, like, sidestep into me. How did that miss me? What? Oh! Heal now. Oh god, I forgot. It's half of my maximum health, so it's gonna be nothing. Why do you run so far? You know what? You might be intended to do this fight on Torrent. I don't know, it's hard to tell, because I've tried fighting enemies on horseback on Torrent, and it just hasn't worked that well, but I can try it. Let's see how this goes. Okay. It might be what, like, many of you all are begging me to do, and you know what? I'll give you what you want. Boom. no, no, no. Your horse is almost down, sir. Your horse is almost down. Yeah, it's like, it's really hard to get a proper position. I find dodging to be a lot more reliable off of Torrent than on. Alright. I almost got you. Oh, I got you. I got it. His horse is down. Now. Yes. Boom. Yes, if you can get that critical hit, that usually finishes him off. At least this one in this stage of the game. Nice. I didn't expect to win that, but that was the Knight's Cavalry. That was our first Knight's Cavalry. Ash of War, Barricade Shield, and Knight Rider Flail. The thing about Knight Rider Flails, I think they have a special effect. Highly effective at inducing blood loss. Never mind. It's a weapon of the Knight's Cavalry. Duh. Barricade Shield. Skill made famous by Sir... I'm not gonna try, I'm sorry. Focus your energy into the shield, temporarily hardening it to deflect greater blows. Interesting, so you can make your shield stronger. Speaking of shields, and speaking of that guy, it is worth noting any attacks that inflict blood loss, inflict it through your shield. So even if you hold up a shield that blocks all physical damage, you can still take blood loss even though it hit your shield and thus didn't hit you. It's a little bit weird, but that's how things work around these parts. I think the same also goes for every other status effect in the game. Up this side path is an interesting little location that I certainly did enjoy exploring. We have a new material within it, a yellow ember, a sign that the deceased suffered from the flame of frenzy. This grape has ripened and burst. It was a grape? Grapes turn into embers when they die. Fun fact. There's more diseased rats here, but these guys have these glowing yellow eyes. Interesting, and they inflict a new status effect. That is madness. If you let that meter build up, you get stunned, lose a chunk of health, and lose a chunk of FP. I believe the stun is also a lot longer than, say, like, any amount of stun you would receive from blood loss or frostbite building up. Which, frostbite we haven't seen yet, but it does exist in the game somewhere. So you want to make sure you don't get hit by these guys too many times. Another new material right here, Eye of Yellow. Grown in lands afflicted by frenzy, it's used for its pain-relieving properties, though it's also known to be a dangerous intoxicant. So you may remember Bloodborne had that frenzy status effect, and you might be saying, isn't the status effect called frenzy? Because it's being inflicted on you for entering this frenzy-inflicted area. No, it's actually called madness. I don't know why either, but I guess frenzy isn't quite the same thing in modern English as it could have been back then. I'm not really sure. Like, frenzy can be used to mean going insane, but nowadays a frenzy is more just like a panic, which isn't quite the same thing as going insane. So this secret little hidden place in the middle of the woods down here is known as the Ailing Village. It's full of these rats who have the flame of frenzy and will inflict it onto you if you let them, but it's also full of a different enemy type we should hopefully be seeing at some point soon. I don't know. I'm just seeing a lot of fruit and yellow right now. Not a whole lot of other stuff. Aha, there you are, yeah. These kind of commoner type enemies that are also inflicted with it. I believe they have some special powers they can use against you, which we'll be seeing soon. Yes, here's the center of the Ailing Village. There's a site of grace on the outskirts of this place, but I think for now, I think we'll be fine just taking them on like this. I say this and I'm about to die. Wish me luck. These guys are all busy, being enlightened, perhaps, by something. Oh, I've interrupted their enlightenment. How dare I? Ow. Nice delay. Pick you up. You have a weathered straight sword. Oh, get it weathered? Because it's been exposed to the rain. Simple to wield, it was known as the Sword of the People. Though the Erdtree styling is still visible, time has not been kind to the sword, now merely a shadow of its former self. Well, my current straight sword is higher attack power than that, so yeah, I'd say it definitely is a shadow of its former self. I'd like to see its former self, though. That'd be cool. Flame Crest Wooden Shield. That one's a static pickup. I saw you. Are you after me? No, it's off doing whatever it wants to do. The yellow flame is the symbol of the affliction, serving as a warning to those who might approach the village. Well, I didn't know that it was a warning, because it definitely does not look like a warning. They might want to make it a bit more red, maybe add some text to clarify that. You know, From Software, just because your game's stories are vague, doesn't mean the worlds within them also have to be just as vague. More Eye of Yellow. I have no idea what Eye of Yellow is supposed to make. Probably something having to do with the Flame of Frenzy, whatever that is. We got a little camp out here with a guy who left behind a golden rune too as he died, and that's all the purpose he ever served in his entire life, I'm guessing. It sure seems that way anyway. Oh, single mushrooms waiting right there. Hi. Okay, I just killed the hell out of you before you got a chance to do anything. Yeah, that's an example of, I believe, like, sneak damage. If you're able to attack an enemy before they have seen you, before they've been alerted to your location, and then before they start attacking you, you deal extra damage to them. So that is something you might notice as I take out these enemy camps. If I sneak up behind them, I usually kill them much faster. Alright, somewhere out here is a site of grace. I'd like to find it, just so I can have it, if there's ever any reason to come back here. Which there isn't, but just in case there's a reason to come back here, I can come back here. Look at that tower over there. Guess we'll have to check that out soon. For now, let me take a look at my map and mark a couple of interesting places. We got that. We got this, which is an indicator of something. Got the big tree up here. I think I'm going to head mainly for these two next, once we're done with the main attraction here in Ailing Village, which is the church I passed up at the very beginning. So let's go back there. There's still more rats around. Man, get out of here. Hello, guys. Are you guardians of the church? Well, you weren't very good at it, and that guy's still being enlightened by whatever he's seeing through his very yellow flame eyes. Got more rats in here, and of course, the obligatory giant rat. As if these rats weren't giant enough, we gotta have a bigger one. Boom, boom, boom. And boom, boom, boom. Now it's just the giant rat. So I do want to watch out. This guy can hurt if you let him, so don't. Out. Okay. What am I saying out for? He didn't do anything to me. There we go. I should be using magic on these guys. I literally said that I was going back for a freaking staff so that I could start using magic, and then what have I done? I completely ignored it. That's what. I believe this is, yes, a sacred tear, because it is a church. You usually find these in churches, so you'll have to come to the Ailing Village if you want a sacred tear. Golden Rune 1. And I guess we could head back to the Grace shortly to do that. What is this? Oh, I see. It's like the big outer wall. It's the rampart guarding the way to Castle Morne down there. Ooh, look at that. That's Castle Morne right over there. It's got a lot of smoke coming from within. Smells like destruction. And there's the merchant that we just came from, and a ruin fragment down there. We are way too high up in order to fall down there safely. So, let me actually see what's down here. This might very nicely take us to where I want to go next, and I think it is. I think it is about to. Hang on, are you a misbegotten? You are misbegottens. I just drove past you, pretending you didn't exist. I'm sorry, guys. All right, let me keep my promise. I mean, I didn't actually promise anything with magic, but excuse me, sir. All right, you're next. There we go, getting nice magic use out of this. Yeah, look at that. Because magic is so much longer range, a lot of the enemies in this game become easier to fight as a result. So it's another way you can make Elden Ring easier for yourself. Though, I do not think magic is like an all-powerful, godly ability that makes everything in the game super easy. No, absolutely not. You can still have a really hard time in this game and use magic. It's just that a lot of the regular enemies are no longer challenging. And a few of the bosses. But I think many of the bosses in this game are still just as hard with magic, so yeah, it's definitely not that big of an advantage. At the site of grace, I'm going to upgrade this, and then we're going to level up, and I think I'm going to start leveling up intelligence. This will increase my usefulness of magic. And then let's do endurance as well so we can boost that equipment load and possibly also boost our stamina. And at some point soon, I should start also leveling up mind, because I am planning on using magic quite a bit, especially as I find some of the weapon skills that I really like, as those cost FP as well. Don't know if I've been over that officially, but using a weapon skill costs FP. So watch that meter. High Site of Grace, my god, they're really close together. They are on two entirely different planes of elevation. In fact, I don't think there's any way to get down there from here, but still. So that's basically it for Ailing Village. There is this little gorge that you could see, but we'll go into that gorge from a different angle. We don't need to do it from there. Now on to the rest of the peninsula. Oh, I could have climbed down. You see that tombstone there? Yeah, that's something you can climb down. I could have climbed down there. So let's drive off this way. I like how I'm saying drive, even though I'm riding a horse. Don't mind me, just not knowing the correct words to say. Got some dogs here chilling by themselves. They're about to be dead dogs chilling by themselves. That was a super intelligent roast there. Did you hear how amazing and savage that was? About as savage as Jake Paul. No. They're just drinking out of the water here, so I guess I should leave them to it. I mean, they are kind of extremely skinny, so any amount of sustenance that enters them is for the best for their quality of life, and they probably won't be as angry at me if I let them fill themselves up. Do I have any other outfits to try out? Oh, I do, actually. The cloth set. I also have the exact same one, except not covered in blood. I think we'll switch over to the cloth set and the cloth trousers, the cloth, what was this called? Garb, right. And then we could switch over to Godric soldier gauntlets. I mean, this is the best I can do right now. I don't exactly have a full wardrobe out here in the middle of the world. Got a tower up there, a ruined tower. This is like one of those minor points of interest that you can find, similar to forts, except they're like even smaller than them. So I'd like to think of something I can compare them to, but there's not really a whole lot I can compare them to. We got more poison flowers here guarding the way. Okay, fine. I won't fight you then. You got it. You forced my hand. I won't attack you ever again. Boom, boom, boom. 5 bolts. For a crossbow that I might have, actually. Do I? No. I don't have any type of bow yet. I don't know where you get one. Oh, you can buy one from the Twin Maiden Husks. That's right. There's an item there. It's probably just, like, crafting material, so I'll check it out on my way back out. But I think the entrance into this, yes, is right here around this side. Forest Lookout Tower. It's the name of this place. Mushroom. Oh, ruins. That's what I was trying to think of when I was thinking of other points of interest to compare this to. There's a opening out there. We can crawl across that rock there, but I think for now I'd like to head to the top where there's a guy in a ballista causing trouble for everyone. Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, this guy's nice to you, isn't? No, he's not. So about what I was saying with the 1.0 version of Elden Ring at the end of the last video. Hey, look at that hand ballista. Only capable of firing great bolts. Yay. Perfect for reckless acts such as storming a castle or facing an entire army alone. Requires 30 strength. Okay. Okay, thanks, guys. But the reason why I brought that up is because I was standing in front of a ballista. Because there's an interesting change that they made. In the 1.0 version of Elden Ring, you could see the health bars of ballistae as you would start to destroy them, or similar such weapons, mounted weapons. Now, however, they don't have a health bar. They have a health value that does get lowered as you attack them and they will be destroyed, but you can't see how much is left. Which is a weird little change, because, like, why not include the health bar? Oh, okay, this is just an opening out to this wall. Alright, let's go see what amazing item is waiting me down here. It was probably dropped by a flower, which means it's probably just gonna be like a petal or something. Oh, actually, it's a golden rune 1. Well, it's about on par with what I was expecting. Golden Rune 1s aren't like the most terrific item in the world or anything. I have like 37 of them, so they're quite common. You'll have to forgive me for not exploring every last voxel of this open world. As much fun as it is to ride around and see all the sights, I would also like this series to go actually like progress forwards. So right down here in Mistwood Jr. Let's see. Okay, Mistwood is a little bit bigger than this place, so I was about to say, if this forest is larger than Mistwood, why does this forest not get a name, yet Mistwood does? Even then, I'm still gonna say that. Why does Mistwood get a name and this one doesn't? 1 rainbow stone, thanks. The most use you can get out of rainbow stones involves you having multiple of them, so why are you giving me 1 of them, you ridiculous game? What was that freaking noise I made? What the? Boop! Boop! The many noises of Omencito. More root resin, a dead end with nothing. I wouldn't have expected any less from an open world game. So, you can see over there is one of those, like, candlestick tree things. That does indeed have a phantom that will lead you slowly but certainly, I almost said certainly, down this ridge where you can find a pretty well-hidden cave. So yes, that guide there leads you to this cave here. Earthbore Cave. I'm afraid to say this is another annoying one, so I'm just gonna light the site of grace and then leave immediately because I am not interested in doing this right now. It's a really short cave, but man, is the ending super annoying. No thanks. Once again, take care not to fall into the river there. We will just die. I like how I'm apologizing for not doing a mini dungeon, even though I know that probably a lot of people watching this are like, yes, thank you for not doing a mini dungeon. Because they're so boring, literally earth bore cave. But I will be doing it in the future though, so sorry about that. Alright, hello sirs, you are demi-humans, and you have glowing red eyes. This is the first time I ever saw demi-humans in my first playthrough of Elden Ring, was down here in the Weeping Peninsula. I did find this place before going up into, you know, into Stormvale and into the rest of the world. I did discover the Weeping Peninsula long before that. Demi-human forest ruins. I guess this is the demi-human forest. Not as interesting of a name as Mistwood. As you can see, there is quite a large looking beast in this room. That is a demi-human queen. A step up from the demi-human chiefs that we fought, or is the proper plural chiefs? I don't know, it sounds kind of wrong to me. That we fought in the coastal cave. They have a magic staff and a lot of health. There's also plenty of them that are used as bosses throughout the game, similarly to the chiefs, but this one is just a regular enemy. Or a mini-boss, I suppose. Whoa, almost smacked me with that thing. I think if you are out of FP, you can attack with your staff. I like to try it, because I think I remember how to do it. I don't quite fully remember. All right, you can die if you're so inclined. This is a hell of a lot easier than the coastal cave battle, might I say. All right. That somehow didn't hit me. Hey, you're destroying your own ruins. This is your home. Well, down you go anyway. And I got the demi-human queen staff. Well, I guess it didn't matter that I went back to get the glintstone staff, because I was about to get a different staff anyway. Yeah, and it's actually better, though it has less intelligence scaling. I mean, it has better sorcery scaling, so yeah, as soon as I went to go get that staff, I just got a better one not too much longer later. Very interesting. Demi-Human's Queen's Staff. Glintstone Staff, styled as a scepter. A gift once given to the Demi-Humans to foster peace, it can be wielded even by those of low intelligence. Sneered at by fools in the Academy. Well, those fools in the Academy are gonna think differently when I come up to them with this staff and I actually kill them with it. They might sneer at it, but what can they do? Considering that this is indeed ruins, I'm going to ignore them and instead go for this item that I see over here, in the far distance. Because it's resting on a cup. Remember that last time we found a similar looking item resting on a cup. This is Faith Not Crystal Tier. It'll give you a bunch of faith. Not. It does the exact same thing as the Strength Not Crystal Tier except for faith. So if you find all of these crystal tiers, you can just boost whichever attacking stat you want to give yourself an advantage. Arcane being the exception. There is not a crystal tier for Arcane as far as I am aware. I looked at a full list of the tiers on the wiki and didn't see one. Alright, so with this ruin, I think there is a cellar somewhere, but it is worth noting that not all ruins have their cellars obvious right away. We kind of saw that with the, what were they called? Agil ruins? Dragonburnt ruins. How the true cellar was actually, like, out of the way of the obvious one. As you can see, the demi-human here is scared since I have killed his queen. Their queen, I mean. And so are the rest of them. So that is an example of that type of behavior. If you kill their queen, now they're scared of you. I see! It's blocked by plants, but there should be a way inside. Aha, I think I see you. Torrent, if you may. Torrent, you need to do a bit better than that. You need to do a bit better than that, Torrent. Just up this... Oh, hold on. There we go. Here is the cellar. Let's go claim our reward for murdering a bunch of innocent demi-humans living in their village and trying to defend it. Shield of the Guilty! That is so fitting. I didn't even intend that. Shield made to venerate a maiden whose eyes were crushed by briars of sin before being reborn in these lands. That's a shield design. Oh, wow, you guys are weird. Venerating the repose of the soul, this shield boosts focus. The briars can be used to attack foes. What is focus? Well, if we switch our character stats with Y, we can see at the bottom, resistance. There's immunity, robustness, focus, and vitality. In the Dark Souls games, those resistances will be resistance to poison, resistance to blood loss, resistance to frostbite, all the different status effects. But now there are a lot more status effects in this game, so instead of making like 7 resistances for each one, and not overwhelming you even more on that stat screen, they decided to make a bunch of like resistance stats that affect your resistance levels of multiple of those status effects. Immunity affects poison and scarlet rot. Robustness affects blood loss and frostbite. Focus affects sleep and madness, and vitality affects death blight, the last status effect that we have not heard of. You're telling me there was a chief there that whole time? I was considering taking the Spirit Spring. I'm also considering kind of going over and killing you. Sure, I'll try it. If I fight you one-on-one, it'll be a lot easier than that freaking boss fight in the coastal cave. Whoa, how did you miss? I don't know. Well, you're dead now, so it doesn't matter. That's the chief down. Before we continue anywhere up that Spirit Spring, I'd like to go down this way where we can see a poison cloud. Nice welcome. Why exactly do I want to go down here? Because this is the direction of one of the things I'd like to see, as you can see on the compass. I think I remember saying that, like, those beacons you leave on the map are temporary. No, they're not temporary. They just stay there until you walk up to them. That's what I meant by them being temporary. Drive past those plants because they are super easy to avoid. And as you can see, there is a tunnel here, a mining tunnel. Let's go on inside. I was forced off of torrent. Are you... Hold on. I tried to press the left... I tried to press the left trigger to center the camera, thinking this is Breath of the Wild. Wrong open world game. Morne Tunnel. Good morning, tunnel. So yeah, the name of Irina at the start of this place is quite similar to Irina of Karim from Dark Souls 3. In fact, Irina's, like, guardian, whose name was Aegon from Dark Souls 3, dropped an item that I believe is called Morne's Shield. So yeah, it's a bit of name reuse, which is okay. I mean, if you're making an open world game, you got a ton of locations, ton of characters to name, you might as well start reusing some. So that's perfectly fine. I don't consider it a problem. I just think it's interesting to point out. All right, down here we are. The only thing you get for not taking the elevator is one single smithing stone. Amazing. Now for the rest of the tunnel. Hello, that is a Misbegotten. And those are more Misbegottens. Fun fact, in case you don't remember these enemies. Ow! Okay, that's an attack they can do. Yeah, they can, like, hit the ground and then scream as they get back up, which will stun you a little bit, though I don't think it'll do much damage. If I can make this jump, I can climb up here and kill this unsuspecting miner. After I heal, of course, which I will do. Whee! Now, charge! No, if I'm gonna, like, sneak up on people like that, maybe I should, do... Oh, wow. Maybe I should, switch my talisman out. Down you go, I'll take your smithing stone, and then I'll put on the charge attacks talisman. There we go. So I'll do a bit more damage with charge attacks. I don't think it's that much more damage, but it's... something. Congratulations, you did it. Great job, bud. Alright, I'm going to charge up on you, and well, alright. That was pretty cool. Emptied most of his health bar. Pretty sure even the Twin Blade's, like, less damaging initial attack would have taken him out there. Oh, this actually looks like progress. Hold on, I don't want to go this way quite yet. There's places down I want to see, and a bunch of Misbegottens down there that want me dead. So I gotta go kill them instead. You'll probably notice the HUD fading in and out like that. That's a default setting in this game. If you leave the HUD as auto, it will only turn on when you're in combat, which means you can kind of use that as an indicator for when something's fighting you. See, like, now that I'm in combat, the HUD is all on in full display, but then when I'm not, it fades away. There's also, you know, battle music that plays. Oh god. Or rather, a variation on the current background music that starts to play. Alright, boom. Alright, that's enough. Nope. Good thing I got out of the way, you're screaming. That's you, and then that's you, and then there's a flying guy. You know what I do with flying guys? I hit them out of the air. Oh my god, that stance breaks him. How does that stance break you? I guess y'all have really low poise. Boom! I should review how the poise mechanics work, because you do have poise as a stat on your player's end, though it doesn't do nearly as much for you as it does for the enemies. In fact, it's pretty useless, to be honest, but I don't think it even works the same way. Like, enemies' poise is used to determine when they, when they get their stance broken. I think you can also have your stance broken, I think. At least when fighting players or similarly built enemies, you can. But when fighting most of the normal enemies, you don't. Wait, that's the boss door down there. I didn't really expect that. Alright, I'm using up all my flasks. I'm kind of not doing that great of a job. Maybe I should bring out the weapon that these guys are weak to. Just a thought. Maybe I should do that. Maybe that would be the best for me. Explosive stone. Very cool. So that's all the enemies in here. Somber smithing stones. I've yet to go over these. There are certain weapons in this game that must be upgraded with somber smithing stones instead of regular smithing stones. Supposedly they have like this magical aura to them and they require a special thing. Oh, soft cotton. It's that one item that I looked at the recipe for that makes your footsteps silent for a little while. There's a few more differences in upgrading the weapons beyond just the material you use, but we'll get into that later when we actually start needing to upgrade more of that stuff. Is this another way into this part? I think this is. I think you can either go through from the top entrance or from down here. That's kind of interesting. I don't remember a lot of tunnels later into the game having this kind of open-endedness. Down you go. Okay, that didn't stagger you. I should have expected that. This weapon is doing so much better. Staunching boluses. Those will remove your bleed buildup. Since bleed does not start a timer once it hits full, it just instantly drains back to 0. That's just used to stop your bleed buildup, which already drains kind of fast if you can just avoid being hit for a while. So it's not the best thing in the world. Gotta watch out for their delayed attacks. They've got a lot of them. All right. Oh, that was a weird little interruption your attack had there. Twin Blade's a lot more fun for the Misbegotten, so I'm gonna bring it back out. Well, oh, okay. That was probably a result of the sneaking damage. There you go, and then I just have to do this. And wow, look at that. First time I actually have to drink this. Iron Cleaver. I'm now out of flasks in every way. Commonly used by the maltreated Misbegotten. Steeped in resentment, these weapons are swung wildly and relentlessly, often after rushing up to foes. Skill is Wild Strike. Swing armament with wild abandon. I'm curious, what does that look like? I'm on the wrong screen. Unable to use unless wielded with both hands. That's interesting. So now we actually do have plus 28 damage, but when one-handed, it's minus 50. I'll go over why that isn't just a bit. But first, I'd like to see what this is about. All right. Kinda neat, but also not quite as wild as I thought it would be. I thought it would be kind of like the club's Barbaric Roar strong attack. But speaking of strong things, when you two-hand a weapon in this game, your strength is secretly increased by, I believe, 50% of what it currently is. So right now, my strength is about 18. Since it is 12 and I'm two-handing, it's being multiplied by 50%. So, yeah, it doesn't actually show up, but that is how it works. So, if your strength increase were to take you over an attribute requirement threshold, that's when you get the message saying, unable to use this unless wielded with two hands. Unable to use this effectively. Exalted Flesh, I didn't show this last time. Look at my empty, sad flasks. Temporarily boosts physical attack. Pretty cool. I think you use arterial leaves to craft these, so that's not the worst idea in the world. In fact, why don't I just eat one right now, because I'm never going to use them otherwise. Eat one right now. I'm never going to remember to, that is. I probably should use them in other places, but I just don't. Yeah, look at that. Completely stomped that guy. Somber smithing stone back here. Let me equip my torch again. There we go. Nope, no fake walls yet. We have yet to see one. Then, large glintstone scrap. And by that I mean, you're gonna kill me. Hang on, I still have my Wondrous Physic, don't I? Yes, I do. No, I don't. It looks like I was about to drink it, and then, nope, there was nothing in there after all. There's nothing there. Okay, well, my health is really low, and I think we've exhausted all options in this tunnel. Yeah, there's no way that way. That's a cave-in. So what do you say? I head back to the Grace, and then head for the boss. Yes, indeed, this is where I thought it was. Every enemy is dead, so I should not die on the way back unless falling down there causes fall damage. I don't think it does, though. I have to say, I really miss the animations for resting at bonfires from Dark Souls 3, or from the other Dark Souls games, where, like, the smoke appears on the screen, you have that really peaceful sound effect. I don't really like the fade out into sitting at the site of grace that Elden Ring has, but minor complaint, does not at all ruin this game. Wow, I guess the club is just better at everything than the Twin Blade. Man. But the Twin Blade's more fun, so I'm going to keep using the fun thing. Alright, I'm going to drop down and make a run for it! Off this way, where hopefully those guys will pay me no mind. They're paying me mind. Stop paying me mind, guys. I don't need mind. I'll level it up on my own. Ooh, more stuff. And by more stuff, I mean a somber smithing stone. I heard an enemy walking after me. I did not think he would be that close. Oh my god. It's about as jump scarish as your average horror game, the Dark Souls games can be sometimes. Alright, now for the grand ultimate boss fight of the Morne Tunnel. Prepare yourselves for the, drumroll please, barrels! It's the Scaly Misbegotten. He was just not very centered. The Scaly Misbegotten is a regular enemy. I'm just gonna say it right now. I like to say that, like, oh, they don't use regular enemies as bosses that much. No, they freaking do. They do it all the time. I like to call this guy the Delay Misbegotten. As you saw right there, it took him forever to get those swings out, except for that time. So you really, really want to pay attention when you're fighting these guys before you dodge too haphazardly, because it could end in your doom. Yeah, look at that, look at that. I dodged both of those times expecting him to swing, but nope, he was still just holding it up for as long as misbegottenly possible. Just gonna jump attack him, because he leaves himself quite open. In fact, why don't I get a bunch of hits in between? Look at how little health this guy has. This is barely even a boss fight. And you know, it isn't really a boss fight, because it's just a regular enemy that you could have already encountered before finding this tunnel, by the way. The Rusted Anchor. I was wondering where you got this. I remember playing around with this in my main playthrough a little bit when I actually had the strength required to use it. I wasn't that big a fan of it in the end. It was just kind of too slow for me, but it is there. And that is it for the Morne Tunnel. I think what I would recommend doing, instead of taking this, I know it's kind of cool. It's like reminiscent of the Legend of Zelda games. It's really cool, and I like to use it a lot myself. Since fast traveling between sites of grace becomes possible after freeing a boss, you might as well just teleport to the grace at the beginning of the dungeon, and then leave from there. That's probably the most, like, bogged standard mini dungeon in this game that we've seen so far. All of the others try to incorporate something interesting, I think. But that one was just a bunch of tunnels with guides and then an insanely easy boss at the end. So yeah, that's not what most of the mini dungeons are like, but it is what some of them are like. So if you're looking for something more exciting, well, you might not want to come down to the Morne Tunnel. I'll take this Spirit Spring up. Let's see where it takes us, because I would like to get around to the west side of this place. Whee! Yeah. Sorry about that voice crack. I can't go that high pitch for too long, or else my voice hates it. Here we have a bridge, and I think we also have a demi-human chief on the other side. Yeah, I remember encountering this guy and being absolutely stomped by him, but look at me now. I can fight him all I want to because I missed the attack. That was great. Yeah, I can fight him super well. No, but really though, like, he's almost dead. I've gotten so much better at these games since then. To give you my history with the From Software games, I am relatively new to these games. I didn't start playing them or get really into them until, I believe, late last year in 2022. So it's been a year since I first really got into these games. Before then, the only game in the series I played was Dark Souls 1, and both times I tried to play it, I ended up not really enjoying it all that much. I thought it was really, really annoying. And I did try Elden Ring in the year it came out, which that was during my Hollow Knight playthrough I did last year in 2022, so that was like the second game I tried. And I also kind of found it a little bit annoying in places, though more enjoyable than Dark Souls 1 for sure. So I started having this fear that these games actually weren't for me, that I wasn't going to like any of them, and it was going to be a game that I would really like to watch playthroughs of, but actually playing them would be unenjoyable, and I was a little saddened by that, because I would have loved to have played them. In any case, though, I hadn't given up yet. I decided to try out Dark Souls 3 on my own. I was originally going to make that like a semi-blind YouTube playthrough, but eventually decided to try it on my own to make sure I'd actually like it. And that game is what got me into this series, and it is still my favorite of the 3 games that I've tried. Yes, I have, like, completed almost everything in this game, and I still prefer Dark Souls 3. You'll see why as we go. For now, let's kill this incredibly... What's even the point of sounding the horn anymore? I just killed all of them. What is that horn going to do for you anymore? I'm sorry, that did not help you one bit. We have another ghost here outside of this church.
The mausoleum prowls, cradling the soulless demigod. O America, Queen Eternal, he is your unwanted child.
Unwanted child, eh? What about the mausoleum that's prowling? Mausoleums don't prowl. They sit in the earth where they're supposed to be. Well, this is a fantasy world, so you never know what's gonna happen. Let's light that site of grace, and then you look a little bit different than the statues of America we've been seeing, though you look kinda similar, interestingly. Sacred Tear, once again. There's a lot of Sacred Tears, a lot of golden seeds down here in Weeping Peninsula, so you definitely want to come check them out. Come check this place out. Let's increase the amount, replenished by flasks again. I believe we're now at +3, and then Melina wants to say something.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? In Marika's own words, then, after thy death, I will give back what I once claimed, return to the lands between, wage war, and brandish the Elden ring, grow strong in the face of death. Warriors of my lord, Lord Godfrey.
That told me a lot, thank you. Oh, I could have leveled up. Well, hey, at least we get to do it without Melina whispering in our ear about our ambitions and thoughts and crap. Mind, sure. And then... strength or intelligence? Strength or intelligence? Intelligence! Yeah, I want to open up a variety of spells before it gets too late and I'm still stuck using the same stupid glintstone pebble the entire game. In this graveyard out here are more skeletons. What did you expect? You see a lot of graves here together, expect to see skeletons. That's the rule of Elden Ring. Alright, and then I'd like to blood grease. That's a grease, so we can apply that to any, not any weapon, but a weapon, a, like, standard damage dealing weapon, to cause the weapon to inflict blood loss. And if you caught a glimpse of that, you can see in the distance. There's a big ol' thingy with legs. I mean, if you saw the trailer I used to open up this series and to show it off in the announcement video, that these things' existence were kind of spoiled for you, but here one is in person. There's ruins right here. I will check them out in a bit, but for now, this is the far more interesting thing. What are these ruins? Tombsword ruins. Very cool. It's actually not moving yet. Maybe we have to get close. There we go. They can't have it moving when you're that far away from it. It would be too much processing. Listen to that bell. That bell, with all its reverb and echo, is one of the coolest sounding things in this game. I loved the sight of this thing the first time that I encountered it down here in Weeping Peninsula. I didn't have this thing's existence spoiled for me before I started playing, and so this was really cool to see. But what exactly is it, and what does it do? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find that out. Now, we can see that there is light over here. There is yet another site of grace waiting on the hill, so whenever you feel like seeing the amazingness of this thing once more, you can teleport on down. Light it up, 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 light it up, up, up. It's not on fire, because it's not a bonfire. I don't know what I was saying there. We can see another church up there at the top of that hill, I believe, as well as what appear to be more ruins down below it. Yeah, kind of a lot of ruins and churches in this section of the Lands Between. Surrounding this guy are a bunch of these guys, these like headless, ghostly soldiers. They fight the same as the soldiers of Godric, but they can also teleport around in addition to their regular moveset to kind of confuse you, to surprise you with some attacks. We can always try fighting these guys as they go up here. I believe they're supposed to be guardians of this giant wandering mausoleum down here. Yeah, as you can see, you teleported away to dodge the attack. Pretty similar to an ability that you can find later in the game. Alright. But, oh god. Well, you put up your shield like instantly. I kind of hate that about the shields in this game, how the enemies could just decide, no, it's up now, I'm guarding now, and then immediately on the first frame, no, reduce damage. Kind of annoying. But hey, it's either that or make shields crap for the player as well, so maybe it's for the best that it's this way. Hello, sir. You too have ghostly mushrooms around yourself.
Oh, there it is, the tower. Finally, I can return to our home bathed in rays of gold.
that tower over there then. Well, I guess that's something else we're gonna have to check out. I'm gonna mark that. And then, before we go into those ruins, I'd like to start with this church. You can just avoid these guys by jumping into the church from another angle. All the churches are destroyed now, so you can very, very easily do so. What we got here? Another sacred tier. There are lots of sacred tiers down in Weeping Peninsula. If you want extra health, hello. If you want extra health, you might want to come down and visit this place. Once again, there we go, sacred tier. Now we're at like +4. Yeah, we're at +4 flask. In fact, we might be able to heal our entire health bar with just 1 flask at this point. That's something I've experienced on every playthrough thus far. I've been able to heal all of my health with just 1 drink for a little while in this early game. Alright, but in other news, there is this ruin. Or these ruins, rather. It's not just one ruin. Oh, hi. Oh, that's... Oh, no, it's poison water. I forgot it was poison water. This is a From Software game. They love to do poison water. This thing is... I don't really know what it's called, but it's not that hard. It's really tanky, and it just shoots a bunch of, projectiles that rain down on you from the sky. The far more worrying enemies here are these guys, the marionette soldiers, or whatever they're called. They have loads of hands and thus are able to use a ton of different weapons to attack you at once. This guy's shooting like 50 million arrows at once in your direction. And this guy is able to stun lock you. They are masters of stun locking. So do not let them attack you for longer than like a second. If you can help it. Sometimes you can't help it. Where did... Oh, it was chasing me the whole time. Oh no, there's another one. Oh no, there's 3 of them. Oh no, there's 3 of them. Okay, well, I'm going to take them out this way. Then I'm going to... That's a torch. Then I'm going to start using magic on them. There we go. You can only ever 2-hand a weapon when on torrent. You cannot hold 2 weapons in your hand at the same time. So I'm going to do this. Ow. Okay. Let me try... So if I hold down A and then click left bumper, there we go. Now I'm holding the staff in my hand. So I can either do this, but if I strong attack, yes, you can whack them with the staff. That's how you do it. I'd like to whack you with the staff if you don't mind. 4! Alright, not worth it. Oh wow, this is super good against them. That's really good, actually. It's worth noting, by having your staff in your left hand like this, you can use it by clicking left bumper. So it does not guard when put in your left hand. In fact, I don't even know which weapons do guard when put in your left hand, if any. It might just be shields that do that. Alright, got one more thing to kill here, and it's you. You will not be hard at all. I'm just gonna sit here, and I might even be able to avoid all damage by doing that. I probably... No, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't. Oh my god. Hey now. I failed to point it out until now, but yes, Torrent is poison resistant. Immune to poison, I mean. You can walk through poison water with him just fine. He will not take any poison damage, and neither will you be poisoned. It's pretty nice. Here's the cellar. Let's see what's down here. Selen's clone, I guess? I mean, this is the cellar, so I guess there would be someone named Selen down here. I don't know where I was going with that.
It will do no good, I swear it. And yet you persist. You frothing degenerates.
If you were to teleport back to the Waypoint Ruins, Selen is still there. So there's just another one of her? Is Selen a species and not a particular person? Do not make the mistake I made on my first playthrough. I came down here, I never found Selen in the Waypoint Ruins because I was chased off by the poison. Even if I did, I probably would have been chased off by the mad pumpkin head. Ambush shard. Hold on, we'll read about that first. Launches a projectile from distance removed from the casters so as to strike the enemy from behind. The Selian sorcerers were assassins that said they often hunted their fellows. There's also the Flame of Frenzy, which I didn't see. Causes the yellow flame of Frenzy to burst forth from the caster's eyes. The Flame of Frenzy deals damage, causes buildup of madness. This incantation also causes buildup of madness in the caster and is only effective against Tarnished. Good to know, so can't use it against enemies. Anyway, I came down here, saw her like this, hadn't met original Selen, the Selen that actually sells you stuff, And so I thought that she wanted to be mercy killed. And so I attacked her. And then she attacked me back, and I was confused. And I was like, why? Wait, what? Because she can launch a projectile like that. She's not completely helpless. And then I ended up killing her, and it wasn't... And once I checked an Elden Ring playthrough later, I realized my huge mistake. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to actually restart the game. And so my main save file is not my first save file. It's actually my second. My first save file didn't get very far. I didn't get into Stormvale Castle. I didn't get outside of Limgrave very much. It was a very short run. Right, there's one more thing I want to see down here, and then I'm thinking, instead of clear up every last little thing we have to do here, I might just head over to Castle Morne. Since, you know, I'm sure y'all are begging to see me do a big dungeon, and Castle Morne's the biggest dungeon we've seen yet, so yeah. Let's go ahead and do that after we get the Site of Grace down by this beach. I'll also check out this beach a little bit before we go there, though. Hello, sir. There's a merchant here. He has his face entirely covered.
Well, there's been an age since I've seen a customer. How can I help here at the end of the earth?
What do you have for sale? Oh, I want to get runes now. I think I'll start by buying this, and then I'll sell you some of my runes so I can buy that lantern. It was 1,800 runes, which is actually the same amount of money as the lantern in Hollow Knight is, funnily enough. That one costs 1,800 geo, and this one's 1,800 runes. Very fitting. Attached to waist to illuminate surroundings. Used once to turn on and again to turn off. While its light is dimmer than that of a torch, it has the advantage of freeing up the user's hands. Very nice.
Have a safe journey.
I'm sorry, I'm used to the last merchant not telling me anything as I left. I shall equip that to my pouch right here, my last remaining pouch slot, and we'll be using that instead of the torch, meaning I could probably safely go into here and get rid of you so I can save my equip load. It occurs to me that I forgot to show this off. This is a multiplayer item. If you want to summon another player, you have to use this. You can find these around the world, and these are consumable, but I think you can also buy them. Oh no, you can craft them, right. Co-op summoning signs will be shown in gold, hostile summoning signs will be shown in red. So it costs nothing to summon an NPC, it does cost one of those to summon a player. And also, when you activate that, you can no longer summon Spirit Ashes. So what about the notes we picked up? To stop the mausoleum stride, why would I ever want to do that? You'll need to clean up around its feet first. Alright, vague hint, I'll be sure to put that to use. Beware the fire amongst chariots bearing the faces of giants. A well-aimed blow to the chimney on top may prove effective, but opportunities for a plunging attack will be rare indeed. Here's the note that says, like, if you slay a demi-human mob's leader first, the rest will lose hope and panic. Someone lurks amongst the waypoint ruins on the roads through Limgrave. And there's a Flask of Wondrous Physica. Yeah, I think I realized I didn't read a single one of those. That's not the item I meant to use. I meant to summon Torrent. But I don't think I ever read a single one of those notes after buying them, so now I have. Look at all these zombie things that are going out into the water, and look at all of those that are going away from the water. Way far in the distance there, you can see wrecked ships. I don't know what significance that has, if any, but it is there. I think you can also see, like, yeah, drawings of boats and stuff on the map just for a bit of extra flavor, but I don't think it's that, like, lore relevant, necessarily. But it is kind of a cool sight to see, especially with that mob of them. These zombies are an enemy we have not fought before, and I'm not going to get started now because they are super boring. Gonna be straight and honest with you. They're really boring to fight. There's a little cove around here because Elden Ring just can't help themselves. They have to make everything as big and as humanly possible. There's loads of land octopi here, so I'm going to do my best to avoid them. Though I don't think there's much here, to be honest. Yeah, there's not much here. We're running out of places to go already. Oh. Hi, you are making no noise at all. Seriously, you made no noise at all. What was that about? Oh, an Everjail. Thing about this Everjail, though, is that it actually costs a Stone Sword key. So I think I'll come back to it later. We'll mark this with a skull. And also, I have been there and done that. I'll leave that marker down there, though. I am just from now reminding myself that there is this ruin, the Tombsword Ruins. I found the cellar straight away. Let's see what's down inside of it. Oh, hi. I don't know what these guys are called, but they're a little bit fast, a little bit tough. They shoot you with a crossbow and they stab you with a sword. They do both of those quite well, so keep on edge. Or just mow them down with the twin blade, like so. Then they are guarding a chest with... Transporter trap? Nope. Winged scythe. Alright, probably not something I'm gonna use, but let's check it out. Deals holy damage. According to pagan belief, white winged maidens are said to be death's gentle envoys. Sure, angels' wings jump in and imbue the wing blade of the armament with light, then deliver a slashing attack on the enemy. The white wings impede recovery actions using a flask of tears. Oh, so once you use it, then your healing is less effect. Where did you come from? Where the heck did that rat come from? I think they're just out about on the surface. Yeah, I hear another one. That's where they came from. You were in the bush. Hidden rat. Hey, another item here. Beast liver, yay! I can cook food. That's probably one of the things you need for exalted flesh, if I had to guess. There is thingy up there. How do I get up there? Oh, I just do this. That's all I do. You are golden. Look at you. I'm dead. No, I'm not. But that thing's about to disappear, so I'm dead inside. No, it's gone. I'm gonna respawn and try that again. Alright, one of the nice features Elden Ring includes is that certain ledges are coded not to have you fall off of them if you were to attack. Is this one of them? Yes, this is. As you can see, I'm attacking here, which propels me forwards, but I'm not falling off. I think the same goes for that enemy. It was blocked from jumping off. I called it an enemy. It's not an enemy. Increases holy damage negation. Follow the path set for you, and you'll make enemies of all others. The monks, sorcerers, the ancient dragon knights, and the scions of gold. Heed me, the lands between offers no welcome to the tarnished. Believe me, I am fully aware. Alright. Enough ruins, enough field exploration. There is a lot of stuff that I didn't get around to, such as this giant tree up here, the minor Erd tree, and the tower down here and stuff, but I think I'm gonna get that all next time. For now, let's do the main attraction of the Weeping Peninsula, Castle Morne. If I recall correctly, it's not that big, so we should be able to slot it nicely into the end of this video. Or maybe we won't. We'll see. So if you remember, yep, there are giant arrows from a giant source on the way to this place. Ooh, golden seed tree. I want that. Give it. Because I think it still only costs 1 golden seed to upgrade flasks now, so I think I want that. Ow! Right in the brain! That's gotta freaking hurt. Speaking of which, I think headshots from projectile attacks do ordinarily cause you to be stunned longer. That was a mechanic in Dark Souls 2 that they brought over into Elden Ring. And same thing with the whole, dual wielding, where if you equip 2 weapons of the same type, you have new moves. That was also a Dark Souls 2 mechanic that they removed from Dark Souls 3 and then added back in Elden Ring, because Miyazaki cannot make up his mind of whether or not he wants that included in the game. And that's because Dark Souls 2 was not directed by Miyazaki. So, yeah, that's why. Attack you in the legs, you already have a huge chunk of health missing, so this should not be hard. Blah. Blah. Ow. You're dead. And I don't believe you respawn either. I think you are a permanent kill, which I don't think I've officially been over. But some enemies, when you kill them, do not come back. Some of them are dead for good. Great arrow times 5. Alright, there's a couple of things in this field to see before we get in the castle. I think we'll come over and read this monument, but if there's anything that I'm missing, I'll get it at the start of the next video. The Siege of Castle Morne. A lone hero fights for his vengeance, only to fall at the hand of Lord Godfrey. And I'm sure they mourn over that loss every day. A beach here with angry jellyfish. Do you angry jellyfish mind if I come and steal your belongings that you are guarding? I'm sure they won't. They're quite understanding. See, that was a friendly little kiss that they just left me. They're not that bad. I'm not gonna kill them. They're so cute and squishy looking, even if they are trying to kill me. I don't care. What's here? What is here that's actually worth it? Because I don't remember if anything here was actually worth it. Not only are there a bunch of these slow zombie guys, and not only is there poison water that Torrent is thankfully immune to, but there are, I believe, 3 giant enemy crabs that come out of the floor at certain points. So I'd like to just quickly climb up, see what it has a golden rune for. Incredible. Is this it? We have a bunch of screaming people other than that. We got a bunch of fall damage too. Got a bunch of poison bloom. Alright, very cool, guys. Love to see it. Very interesting. Let's go to the castle. I like to refer to these smaller castles as minor dungeons. A step up from mini dungeons, but not the major dungeons such as Stormvale, which yes, is also a castle, but it is considerably bigger than this place is. Trust me. You will see when we get that far. Which we should be getting to pretty soon, by the way. I aim to start Stormvale Castle the video after next, so stay tuned. For now, though, a small castle will have to do. Here's the Site of Grace. There's souls from dead enemies that died somewhere, sure. Dead enemies that died somewhere. That's me being redundant again. Completely pointless room, no idea why you would go in there. And you know what? Let's switch back to the Cadence set with Godric's Soldier Greaves. How's that look? Pretty cool, actually. I'd like to be armored for the oncoming dungeon that we have to do. I am still at medium load. Let's go! I remember entering this castle for the first time, having no idea what to expect from it, and seeing like this big dungeon made me wonder how many more places like this are around the world, and like how long they each take to go through. You have no idea, by the way. I'm gonna repeat that again from one of my previous videos. Activate that for no particular reason, and then I'm gonna send that back down because you do not get a Site of Grace up here, even though I think this would have been a much better spot for one, so we're gonna send that back down. Castle Morne. As you can see, so many people have died, they have created a mountain that they were able to stick a giant log into at the top. That's quite dark imagery, isn't it? So there's a bunch of Misbegotten over there celebrating. I think first I'd like to go around this corner, as there are some dogs. Oh, there's a second one. Oh, there's a second one. There's a second one. There's indeed a second one. I also hear some other sounds of combat, but they seem to not pertain to us at the moment. Ah, yes. One weird thing about this game and the background music. You can hear that the castles have their own theme. What's weird about them is, every background track in the game does get quieter if you crouch, to, you know, like, emphasize the fact that you are being stealthy. They're just having a big old battle up there. It has nothing to do with us for now, though. It might have something to do with us in a bit. The weird thing about the castle theme, though, is that it mutes itself entirely when you crouch. So, yeah, I remember just, like, noticing that on my first playthrough, like, why is there no music here? And then suddenly there was when I stood up and finished fighting the enemy that I was sneaking up behind. And yeah, it is a little bit weird. So, as you can see, in this pie, that's a lantern. No, I don't need that on right now. That is what using the lantern looks like, though. There's a bunch of regular Misbegotten, and then there's one of those larger, scaly Misbegottens in the center there. That's a little bit hard of a battle, unless we were to, like, really, really do a good job of taking these guys out. But you know what? I'm a brave boy. I think I can do it. Well, in-game, I'm a brave woman, but you know what I mean. Alright, kill you. Scaly Misbegotten's after me. Not locking on, to make sure that I know where all of them are. Sometimes it is best not to just dodge, but to move around, reposition yourself, and use that as your method of avoiding attacks, unless, of course, they're coming directly for your face like that. Okay. You know what? I might want to bring some magic into this. I do recommend locking on when using magic, though, as the aiming mechanics in this game are absolute dog crap. Here, I'm gonna try to aim at this guy. Once I'm done with this guy, which that was a really easy battle, by the way, I'm gonna try to aim at this guy without locking on. Let's go, buddy. Okay, I hit the first attack, not the second one, though, even though it was aimed in relatively the same direction. No, not doing that. Look at that! Look at that! I was in his face, aiming exactly. He was centered on my screen, and yet, nope. Yeah, you better lock on, or else aiming anything ranged in this game is a complete crapshoot. I believe bows and crossbows do have a special aiming mode you can go into. Spells don't. So, yeah. Use lock on for projectile-based spells. For area of effect spells, it doesn't matter. Alright, what else? You... Do you not realize what's going on, buddy? He was still like, yeah, completely not realizing that everyone else was gone. That must have meant that that was, like, the best thing that ever happened to that guy. He's had a really hard life, and that was the best thing that happened, is that he got so blinded by his, I guess, ecstasy in his victory or whatever they did, that he just didn't realize that everyone else was dead. Kinda sad. Sad, depressing backstory. Claymore! Not one of those things that blows up. I kept getting so confused with that when I heard Claymore described as the bomb and not the sword. Because I always knew it as the sword, not the bomb. But yeah, whatever. Usually we with 2 hands, with those strength, 1 is sufficient. In addition to heavy sweeping attacks, it can also make a heavy piercing thrust, making this a versatile weapon. Ooh, it has Lion's Claw. Somersault forward, striking foes with an armament. I've seen Lion's Claw in action. It actually looks really fun, so I could always try it out. What does it require in terms of strength? 16, I can use that if I had 2 hands, so why don't I give it a shot on you? Oh, well, there's actually 2 of you. Oh my god, they're beating up on this poor soldier. What did the soldier ever do to you? All right, I wanna check this out. Oh, I'm in heavy load right now. That's a problem. All right, get this out of my hand right now. Switch back to Twin Blade. There we go. I think I still have my physic. Yes, I do. So I can drink that to heal. In fact, I may as well do that right now. What is this ladder again? So yeah, Lion's Claw is pretty fun. I could always try it later, but for now I'm gonna put the club back on again, because at least the club doesn't put me into heavy load. And you know, the Twin Blade is the Twin Blade. You can't really go wrong with the Twin Blade. Here we have a view back to the mainland of Limgrave. Hello? Oh. Sorry to interrupt, guys. Do you have anything secret up here? Do you have any optional stuff? Doesn't seem like it. I'm just gonna move up this way if you don't mind. Let y'all take down the health of everyone so that I can come in and clean up the rest very easily. Is there nothing up here? I guess not. Yeah, there's nothing up here. All right, very cool. You could jump down there. And that's actually the main place that you need to go. Before I start fighting these guys, I would like to tell you a couple of things about minor dungeons. It's only mini dungeons that limit your fast travel. As you can see, I can just go wherever I want. Which makes me wonder what's the point of that. If like the big main dungeons of the game and the bigger dungeons like this don't limit fast travel, why do mini dungeons limit fast travel? I don't really get that. But the second thing about them is that, similar to mini dungeons, the whole flasks refilling if you kill an enemy group thing is disabled in them. You have a limited amount of flasks, and if you run out, you gotta head back to the Site of Grace and respawn everything if you want them back. Or just try to get through the next thing without dying. Good luck with that. I'm so sorry. It ended in a tie for both of you. Because I had to come in and ruin everything. That guy dropped a smithing stone 1, and you had a fur-calling finger remedy. Right? I think I honestly might want to head back to the Site of Grace right now. That was basically it for this optional area, and I only have 1 flask. I've already used up my FP flask. Yeah, let's go back to the Site of Grace and refill. I can also level up, so I'm gonna do strength. I'm pretty happy with my vigor as it is right now. I'll start releasing it, like, once we get to, you know, the main stuff of Limgrave. Maybe after this dungeon, I'll start filling it up more. SCP-173 damage. Boom. I love that long stun you get if you can jump attack them successfully. That is so nice. One of the reasons I wanted to reset back to the Site of Grace is I wanted to show the intended path, the obvious path forwards here, which takes you past a Mad Pumpkinhead. I don't know if I want to fight him. Seems kind of like an over-the-top thing to fight, but then again, I could always try it. He is wielding a different weapon, so it'd be good to, like, show off his other moveset. So you know what? I think I will. It's okay. We can always summon if we need to, as you can see by the icon on the side of the screen. Don't think I got any sneak damage, but it's okay. Whoop. And, that wasn't an attack. I thought it was. Based on the way he was, like, holding the weapon, I thought he was going to attack again, but he did not. Now, whoop. And, whoa. Oh, thank you for killing him. Oh, yeah, this is a lovely attack they like to do. Okay, the last one's delayed a little bit more. Not that it matters much, because he's dead. Okay, now, do I want to drink my physic? I think I might, because I think it would be beneficial for me. Maybe after we reach to the top of this ladder, though. So yes, this ladder will take you up to the main path where you need to go, with the big area with the stairs and all that we saw from up above. But there's that optional place with those guys fighting, that little brawl that you can interrupt, that little bar fight up there. If you slur that word enough, it sounds like bar fight. Like some kind of mineral you mined out of the ground that's made of vomit. I don't know. Sounds like something one of those sillier Minecraft-like games would include. Barfight. Okay, you guys shoot that. You know what I do to you guys who shoot stuff at me? I shoot stuff back at them. And I somehow stance break them with it, even though I can't imagine that would work too well. as a stance breaker. These guys are super annoying to hit with melee only, so I would recommend using a ranged attack like that on them, personally. I know, oh, it's magic. Magic's cheap. No, the frick it's not. You'll be fine. I mean, if you like fighting them with melee, then by all means, go do it. Like, I won't tell you what to enjoy and what not to enjoy. I just have a recommendation for the ways that you can get the enemy out of your way easier, which for me is usually the more enjoyable way of fighting them. It makes it sound like I hate the challenge in this game. I don't. I think the challenge in this game is fun. For the most part, you'll see. Alright, we got another bar fight happening over here. I didn't even mean to say it like that. It just came out that way. Let me see what's past y'all. If you all may ignore me. Random little shield here. Anything hiding behind it? I guess I could just destroy it. Wow, I sent those flying all the way down there. Oh my god, are they actually going to land on the ground? No, I think they disappeared just before they hit. What a shame. Pick up those butterflies. I like how I only get one out of that, even though there's 3 there. And hello, sir.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. But you can see how things have turned out. The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. But it seems it was all an act. Foul creatures, as it said, and true enough, they're foul inside and out. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but whatever you come here to do, I'm afraid Castle Morne won't hold much longer. Take this, by way of apology.
Sacrificial twig. We saw a merchant selling one of these. And yes, I shall deliver the letter, since you are Irina's father.
I see. From Irina. Thank you. I'm in your debt, but I can't be.
Oh my, what the shit? Get out of here! What? And now he's floating in the air. What? Stop! Now that they're done with their bar fight, they came up to me because they just psychically knew that I was here and remembered my existence. Alright, how many more are coming, if any more? Will you talk like normal?
If you see Irina, do tell her that her father will come for her once he's fulfilled his duty.
I think I may have missed some dialogue there. I'm very sorry. That was kind of out of my control, as you can see. But you know what it means. Like, I will go and protect her, but I gotta stay here and fulfill my duty or some crap. I would be disappointed because we missed out some dialogue, but that was so funny. I can't be disappointed with that. Oh, you died. Thanks for the smithing stone level 1. Idiot. I think that's about all there is to see here for this section of the castle. This just drops you back down in the main courtyard where we started. And yeah, I think that's it. So definitely make sure to go talk to her father. You don't have to fight any of the things along the way if you don't really don't want to. Aside from that, I was about to say aside from that. Don't know what that would have meant. There's this place. Is this the way forward or is this something else? There's a lot of dungeons in this game, and so it can be really hard to remember their layout. But yes, as you can see, when you're in a dungeon, this is a lot more... The game becomes a lot more of a traditional Dark Souls-like level design. Instead of it being a giant open field you ride around a horse on, it's a little area you can explore with lots of vertical spots, lots of secrets, loads of enemy encounters, you know. Enter a dungeon and this game basically becomes standard Dark Souls. And I like that. It's a good fusion of those two gameplay styles. Like, by going open world, they've more so enhanced the Soulsborne formula than detracted from it, which, like, some people would argue for Breath of the Wild, where, like, Breath of the Wild, really good open world game, but almost nothing like any other Legend of Zelda game. Was there somewhere you could have gone here? Like, there are dungeons and puzzles and stuff, but actually exploring the open world is absolutely nothing like the previous games, and, like, I totally get why that was, kind of a hard thing to grasp for many fans, because they've been used to this formula that they really like, and now, away the formula goes in favor of an open world, of something completely different. But you know what, like, Breath of the Wild is a great game, so I don't care about the formula change, but still. That torch is somehow staying lit in the middle of a rainstorm. Interesting. Okay, so the real way to go next is right here where the wall is most destroyed, drops you down to a site of grace. Very nice. I guess I'll rest here right away, as there is no reason to go back into the previous areas, so we may as well get all the health that we're ever gonna get for the areas ahead. I do not have enough souls to level up, or enough runes. I need, like, close to 4,000 to do that. 40,000 is later. Much later in the game than we are right now. Alright, so you can make the drop down there. I think you might take a little bit of fall damage, but I would much rather go this way! Drop onto this metal thing here. Then, I could light the place up a bit. Okay, no, I just dropped directly down in this room. I thought I would, like, drop on a board before going down here, but no. There's an enemy in here, right? Oh, it's just you. Alright. Are there maybe enemies that fall from the ceiling? They do that sometimes. No, there is nothing. But there is a ghost sitting here, a pickled turtleneck. I think we already read the descriptions of those. Oh, there is another enemy in here. How weak are you to magic? Not that weak, but it kills you a hell of a lot faster than physical damage will, so I'll take it. Practically boiling out endless power. Yeah, I'd rather not eat turtlenecks, even if I got this one without having to murder a turtle.
Please help me. I'm of noble blood. If those hideous mongrels eat me, I'll be forever marred. Anything but that. Please think of the disgrace.
Well, sir, I'm afraid you've already been marred as you are now a ghost. Can I... No. I can't do anything with you, so sorry, I can't help you. You may be of noble blood, but you look exactly like the Wandering Nobles from the rest of the game. In fact, that's why they're called Wandering Nobles, because they're of noble blood. I get it now. Only took me an entire playthrough of the freaking game to get that down. I may as well mention right now, I must admit, when I recorded parts 1 through 3, episodes 1 through 3 of this series, I had not quite finished Elden Ring at that time. Now, though, I have, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, I was really, really close to the end, but I hadn't quite reached the end yet. I was just way too excited to get this series started, so I decided to start it a little bit early. As you can see, we have a scaly Misbegotten here. Once again, why is it used as a mini-boss in that freaking... Why is it used as the boss in that freaking tunnel? I mean, I guess they didn't want to use the Stone Trigger Troll so close to the Limgrave tunnels, right? Looks like an AoE attack that you could get caught in. Good thing I didn't. Alright, what else? We're getting close to the bottom of this place, so if this video's been dragging on for a little while, don't worry, it'll all be over soon. Making it sound like my videos are actual torture to watch. But if they were, then... Oh, that's why I get no view. I'm kidding. Twin Blade Talisman! Hey! Enhances final hit of chain attacks. I believe by that they mean, say I were to press right bumper a bunch of times. I think that last hit gets a damage boost since it's the final hit of chain attacks. Maybe there's another one now? Well, hold on, let me test. That one might be enhanced. I'm not sure. It's not worth it to kill you. So instead, jump down on the roof! Boop. No fall damage, because this game's actually good. Although, that did drain my stamina. Falls off a certain height will drain your stamina, but this effect is only noticeable if you're in combat. See, I fell the same height there, and I didn't lose stamina because that enemy up there stopped seeing me. That's a little convenient feature that they include in this game. You only lose stamina from running or dodging or whatever if you are in combat. Because otherwise, it would mean that you'd be, like, running around the world and then you'd have to constantly stop to let your stamina refill. Like this is Breath of the Wild or something. So to allow you to just go around the world as fast as you want, they don't let stamina drain outside of combat anymore, which is a nice change. As you can see, our boss awaits down there, behind the urine fog. Anything awaiting us behind these barrels and boxes, though? No, it doesn't seem like it, so we want to drop down. Boop. And pick this up, Smithing Stone 2. Sorry, Smithing Stone Level 2, which we have one of. I was too far away from that rat. I almost got a hit, but I did not. Okay. Alright, okay. Rats can be really, really good at stun-locking you in a corner if there's a bunch of them like this, so you want to be real careful of that. I'm out of stamina. How was I able to dodge right there, man? I guess I have one tiny bit of stamina left, which that is how it works. You are able to dodge or get out one more attack even if you have, like, a tiny blip of stamina left. All that matters is that you have any stamina left in the meter at all to unleash the... Are you alive? I guess you're scared. Interesting. A whip. My god, we can Belmont this crap. Not originally used for combat, but as an instrument of pain. Though its supple attacks cannot be thwarted by parrying or even guarding, it is incapable of dealing critical hits. Good to know. Skill is kick. Yes, so the kick became a skill as I theorized. I didn't realize it until recently, but the kick attack from the Dark Souls games is removed in Elden Ring. They got rid of it completely. I guess nobody ever used it. I was right. It is kind of a bad thing, because I always ever kicked in Dark Souls 3 when I didn't want to. So they just decided in the bin with it, and I'm all for it. It's really nice. No longer do I have those moments where I kick an enemy instead of actually doing what I want, which is attacking. Yeah, you used to be able to like flick control stick forwards and then attack at the same time. Or like you'd flick it forwards and then attack and then to kick. And that could be used to get shields out of the way. Oh, there's a scaly misbegotten sitting right there. Alright, throwing daggers. That's the first time I picked up anything like that, which is interesting, because throwing knives are usually kind of common in early games of Dark Souls games. But hey, this game's a lot bigger, so they thought they would delay its first sighting. As much as that misbegotten delays all of its attacks. Down the ladder into the final stretch, where there are no more strictly aggressive enemies. There are more jellyfish, but these guys are nice. They're not the evil red kind. Or the angry kind, I mean. Not evil. When would jellyfish ever be evil? Come on now. What are you guys guarding? Crab eggs? Fire arrows. 15 of them. Fire arrows sitting in water. That cannot be good for them. What? How are they still actually fire arrows? You'd think they would be regular arrows at this point. In Dark Souls 3, that attack would slow you down, that bubble attack would slow you down for a while after being hit by it, but here, apparently, no longer the case. Down you go, and that's basically all I wanted to see down here, was that giant enemy crab. Now, with nothing left to do, let us fight the boss of Castle Morne. Anything else to see out this way? No, not really. Watch out for the cliff sides of these. Nothing. Let's go. Whoa, camera. The Leonine Misbegotten. Leonine means looking like a lion, and this guy sure does indeed look like a lion. This guy's a bit crazy. I wanna... Okay, watch the heck out. Oh. This is gonna go extremely well. I just know it. Shortcut. Jump off the bridge. You will not die. Take the plunge, as Gale would say. Miss. Oh my god, this guy's a little too crazy for me. Alright. Can I get a hit on you? Great. A roar attack I could have done nothing about. You love to see it. I think this guy's attacks do get projectable after a while. It's just that I need to learn him. That's a delayed shit. Maybe you really are a delay misbegotten after all. Disguising yourself as a bigger version. Okay. Boop. And drink. Boop. Saw that coming. Watch out for second hit. Heal. I probably should drink my flask of Wondrous Physics some point. I think he does, like, leap after that attack, so it's not really safe to hit him. I hate that roar. It comes out really, really fast, and by the time you see it, you're being hit by it. Good thing it doesn't deal a lot of damage. On the graves! The graves! Oh, good. Destroy them after I'm dead. Thanks, buddy. Hey, that time went significantly better than the first one. And it was slightly delayed. Great! Love it! Hey, I've got a question for you. Do you like magic rocks? Here they are. Check them out. Aren't they great? Aren't they cool? That was 255 damage. Maximum possible. No. No game designer in their right mind would limit the amount of damage you can do to 8-bit numbers. Well, is this going better or is this going better? Am I right or am I right? I can't remember what, like, show it was or something I was into back in the day where someone would say that. Am I right or am I right? Because there's such a difference. I guess one of them means wrong in his language. You know what? I should have healed with the frickin' flask! Ho ho ho! Ho 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 ho! Oh ho ho! Okay! Wit, wit. Jump attack. I wonder if it would be better to switch to my club now that my strength is increased, because I think the club scales better with strength than the twin blade does. Wee wee. And now, club. Yep, yep. Here, I can increase my damage even further by healing. And then, go! When in doubt, yell at the thing that's annoying you! A tug of advice, the wretch takes it into very much... What the hell am I saying? Let's kill this freaking boss. Down he goes, and thus completes the first minor dungeon of Elden Ring. Grafted Blade Greatsword we received. The Storied Sword of Castle Morne. It's a greatsword made of a bunch of different swords, wow. A revenger's weapon. It is burdened with oceans of anger and regret. One of the legendary armaments. It did have that yellow color in its item window. A lone surviving champion from a country now vanished was so determined to continue fighting that he claimed the swords of an entire clan of warriors, and then wielded them together as a giant sword. I assume it wasn't the Leonine Misbegotten, because I think that guy was like an intruder, right? Well, I was leaving my runes behind, because that is something I do recommend. If a boss is giving you a lot of trouble, you might just want to leave your runes where they are, so you don't have to go and, so you don't have to constantly go over and get them every single time you attempt a boss, because it might just be a distraction from the fight. I think with this dungeon now cleared, let's level up Vigor a little bit. And then I'm gonna end right there before this video gets too much longer. There is, something more we can do. We can go back to Castellan Edgar and talk to him now that we have defeated the main boss of the area, because we kind of took out the Misbegotten's leader. It's a little important towards, getting this castle back. So, next time on Elden Ring, we do exactly that, and then we clear out a bunch of loose ends throughout Limgrave, although not every loose end, there's still gonna be stuff I leave behind in the end, and then I'm thinking we're gonna go up and attack the front gate of Stormvale. Thank you all for watching, if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the future.